Welcome to the prelim segment of episode 147 of the Beefy Boys Breakdown. We're going over Noche UFC, Grasso versus Shevchenko 2. So we're going over the prelims. We're one of the only shows out there that go over every single fight on every single card. That's why you should hit that subscribe button. I'm Dominic. This is Harrison. Let's get to these prelims, baby.
Yes, sir. So interestingly enough, we get 6 prelims here for you. First one, Josephine. Now, were you saying Knutson or Knutson? I was saying Knutson.
It sounded like they were pronouncing the K. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you do. Pretty sure you do. I think it's because she's Swedish. Fighting against Marnik Man. Now I gotta just lead off with that's an American girl. I saw her parents. Her name is the Sawed-Off Savage, by the way. Parents, they back that up. Now, you named her
I think
Marnik?
she's from like Wyoming or Montana.
Montana.
Or
you named her Marnik? What is that?
Strange name for sure. Also, this is like a can-crushing, beating.
This is lamb to slaughter.
Yeah, this is
really. This is minus 750 plus 525. This is Yasmin Lucindo pulling out 9 days before the fight and Marnik Man stepping up.
Yeah, which I would have much rather watched the Lucindu fight. And credit for Marnik Man for stepping up, making weight and having the courage and all that good stuff. But that's about where the nice things are going to end about old Marnik Man.
How many 10-8s? That's the question. Not if there's one. Well, maybe if there's one.
Yeah, one judge gave 0. My answer agrees with literally no judge, and my answer is 1.
Yeah, I only gave 1 as well.
Okay.
I thought she dominated 1 and 2, but I gave the 10-8 in round 3.
Really? See, I gave her 10-8 in round 1, so I guess that shows the.
And I thought the
snooziest round.
I thought it was the most dominant because I thought Marnik Man just did nothing.
Well, Marnik Man did nothing the whole time, the whole fight. Like honestly, bro, like I said, like I really don't want to kick someone when they're down, all that good stuff, but bro, just straight up not even close to UFC caliber. Like not even like, oh, maybe if she works on this. Like there is no scenario in which like she literally needs to like go back to school, figure out another like marry a rich dude. Like I don't know, bro. Like this is not how she's about to like make a living. And I'm sorry, that is hard. Like sweet girl, I'm sure, hardworking girl, I'm sure, like not like attacking the character, just like the level of athleticism. It just wasn't happening, bro. Like it just like I watched a UNR University of Nevada Reno versus Kansas football game the other day. I'm used to watching a little higher level football. Like you go to an OU game, some freshman on the sidelines is going to be in the NFL one day. But at this UNR game, that was not the case. There's a couple linebackers where I'm like, "Hey, dog, major, save yourself. You save your body, bro. Like this ain't it.
Right?
Like, you ain't that guy.
Like read some books because you're not reading these keys on the field."
Bro, I promised I wasn't going to get off track. The UNR linebackers, as a former linebacker myself, like I pay attention to this stuff. There wasn't a single time the whole game where they hit the running back and the running back went backwards. Every single tackle they made, they got ran over. Like and we're talking about University of Kansas running backs here. No, we're not talking about Alabama, Georgia. Like, bro, the linebacker play was so piss poor. They'd make the tackle like 5 yards down the field and just get trucked. Like every time. Like there wasn't one single fucking I'm the hammer, you're the nail. It was tough to watch as a former linebacker. Bad linebacker. Good quarterback play, good running back play, good defensive back play. Some nice things I can say. The front 7 of UNR was awful. Like legit guys I played with at OBU, like way better. But anyway, sorry, off track here. That's how I felt about Marnik Man. Like just like figure something else out. Like maybe like do jiu-jitsu. Something, I don't know, be a teacher, I don't know. Like this ain't it. This ain't it. I'm sorry, this ain't it. Wrong career field.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, so bad so that Mike Bell scored round 1 at 10-8, agreed with you, and then proceeded to score, another 10-8 in round 2, and then capped it off with, another one in round 3. He gave all 3 of these rounds 10-8. Now, I don't think that's right, personally. I scored round 3 at 10-8. Brian Miner didn't score any round of 10-8, and I think he's just being the sweetest guy in the room, trying to get a date with Marnik Man, because the bitch got dominated. No offense.
Well, see, and like it's weird, whack, because I agree that it wasn't a 30-24, but if you combine our scorecards, we arrive at 30-24. Because, well, actually, no.
30-25.
What I'm saying is,
but like, well, I mean, who's arguing round two's a 10-8?
Because I'll be real. You could give round two a 10-8, and I, not even trying to argue because I don't care enough to argue, but like round three is the only one that I like really wouldn't give it 10-8, and you do. And that's not even like a shot at you. That's just like you can arrive at 30-24. Like there's a pathway that exists. And no, I was kind of like how DC was being very hard on Knudsen. Like, oh, you got to get this level of girl out of there. Like you.
I actually agree.
That's why I didn't give more 10-8s. I don't think Knudsen was like going for it enough to warrant all those 10-8s. And round one, she was fresh. She hadn't I think by the time round 2 and 3 rolled around, she's like, well, I'm not losing this fight, so why be risky? Like, I'm gonna get the same win bonus regardless. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I just think she kind of she coasted rounds 2 and 3, which, like, in a nutshell, on paper, round 2 might have been a 10-8, but I just could tell the killer instinct wasn't there. She wasn't really trying to get her out of there. So, like, why am I going to give this a 10-8? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, tough for
honestly.
Tough look for Marnik Man having 33 seconds of control and landing 8 significant strikes in a 15-minute fight. That's a tough look.
And I have a little bit of context here because I believe I watched Knudsen's Contender Series episode, which was just like 3 weeks ago or something. It was a quick turnaround for her. And she got a snoozy decision there too. So she's just not like, I don't see the killer instinct from Knudsen. She was a big favorite in the Contender Series, didn't get a finish there. That's why she didn't get a contract. Which, if you're not going to give somebody a contract, we're going to give them a UFC fight 3 weeks later. Like, that's
what are we doing?
Weird.
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah.
Granted, it was a last-minute pullout, so whatever. They needed a warm body that could fog a mirror, as Chael would say. But Marnik, man, I don't even know. I'm sure if she was fogging mirrors or not. But I don't know. This whole fight was kind of a nothing burger. We can keep it pushing. She gets a UFC win. She gets into the UFC. Good fighter. Obviously, the UFC is kind of high on her. They wanted her in the promotion. Vegas was high on her. Marnik, man, sorry about it. I hope I never watch you fight again. And I say that as, like, looking out for you. Like, I legitimately hope she finds something else to do with her time.
Yeah, because this ain't it. This career ain't it.
I rarely go that far.
And no offense,
I don't like it.
But the six girls that she beat before this, also this isn't for them. So I just hate to be that guy. But
like, train, work out, be in shape, go to cardio kickboxing, go to jiu-jitsu, whatever. But it, like, competitively, I don't know. It probably ain't the move. Just like me, like, I skateboard for fun. I don't try to get into X Games. Like I'm not trying to go to Street League. Like, you can do something, but you don't have to necessarily try to make a career out of it. But we'll keep it pushing here. We got Alex Reyes, another big underdog, plus 410, taking on Charlie Campbell in another debutante, lightweight division. I didn't know Alex Reyes was Dominic Reyes' brother.
I was going to say, does he look like that guy? Because they're brothers.
Yeah, and they kind of do physically kind of look
They actually
similar.
does. His face does look like that, yeah.
Yeah, in the face. One's a lightweight, one's a light heavyweight, though. And one's very good, and one's not very good.
And one also looks like he did a weightlifting program most of his life and is a good athlete. And the other one looks like he just kind of fucked around.
yeah.
And that would be the 50 pounds of muscle explanation that we're seeing there.
Well, and also, bro, just another guy, this just ain't it. He had some big injury he came back from. I didn't care enough to listen. I fast-forwarded to it. He's been out 2.5 years, so obviously he's not going to look great in the return. But he's returning against a debutante. He's plus 410. So, another can crushing, another guy, go, hold pads for Dom or something. This
all right,
is a career.
Let me ask you, did you like Charlie Campbell or not? Because I actually kind of hate him, I think.
It was one of those things. In the octagon, I liked him.
Yes.
On the mic, I did not like him.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I love his fight style. Hate him talking.
And it was also I don't even know what I was watching because this is gonna sound like hyperbole. Every time he would touch Reyes would get wobbled / froze. So it was kind of like just like target practice. Like it looked like he was just like when Sean O'Malley does those ridiculous videos on the bob, and he just like hitting a
just
stationary target.
just
Like,
joint in his mouth.
yeah, he looked like Sean O'Malley jointing the mouth versus the bob, like just fucking around. Just like because he would just punch Reyes. Reyes would like stiffen up, and then he
Bro,
would eat like two more.
it was like a nasty like 3-minute onslaught of him just walking him around the octagon, just like landing bombs and just like pretty much moving him backwards as he continued to land bombs.
Yeah, like hot knife through butter. Like at least I'll say Campbell was like staying within himself. He didn't go full like Buffalo Wild Wings, Raul Rosas. Just like he was actually throwing real combos and like actually performing in a sport.
He's pretty precise too. And they did his slow mos.
Yeah,
he was actually sliding punches like right inside the guard a lot of the time. So I give it to him that I actually like on a core level as far as prospect, kind of like Charlie Campbell. In the octagon.
Once again, it's going to sound like I'm trying to be funny here, so I swear, like it's kind of like when you watch a quarterback like do 7-on-7. It's like, well, I like what I see, but I don't really know what I just saw. Like, yeah,
correct.
The ball, the spiral's pretty, and yeah, you know,
like, yeah, you can zip it, bud, but like when there's a rush in your face, how you look?
Like it was literally one-way traffic. Like this was not a like competition, really. This is like and more of an exhibition than a competition. You know what I mean?
Execution.
Yeah, and like Charlie Campbell, he can only fight who they line up again there against him. Like it's not his fault, but I just don't know what to like do with the information that my brain saw on Saturday night. So yeah, well, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do.
Let's discuss the ultra cringe call out, or not call out on the mic, I guess, but. I'm going to say the fact he calls out jitters. It was the weirdest thing to take a stand on, talking about, I don't care if it's my debut, I want 50K, jitters are fake, they're only real if you make them real, like, it's just another octagon, like, all right, cool, bro, can we talk about, like, maybe you should have a name ready to pick if you just are already that ready?
Yeah, and also, I didn't like how he was pretty much just exposing himself. He's like, I don't care if I'm the third fight on the prelims. Like, he said it like 3 times. And I was just like, bro, like, I kind of had forgot about that in the moment. It reminding me that this fight mattered, like, not like you're kind of like arguing against getting the bonus more so than arguing why you should get it. You're like, this fight didn't matter at all. He's
like, my debut, second fight on the card, Noche UFC against neither guys that are from Mexico. Yeah, we don't deserve a bonus, but I deserve it anyway. It's like, what?
Yeah, like. What? Like I'm gonna start calling him Charlie the Curtain Jerker Campbell. Like that's what
bro, he's Campbell's corn chowder because that man's corny, and he had the most unfortunate voice crack calling for 50K, like the most unfortunate.
It was bad. I didn't love it, but we'll keep it pushing to the first fight on the card that actually mattered. We got Tracy Cortez minus 125. Jasmine Jasudavicius plus 105. I didn't realize that Cortez was ranked 14th in the highly competitive flyweight division. She's had some time off, broke up with Ortega and all that. And honestly, I got to say, like, this was like the Ortega shit. And I don't want to say it hurt her career because in Q rating wise, it helped her. But I kind of got to the point where I was thinking about her more as Ortega's girl than I was thinking about her as like undefeated in the UFC, like actual kind of like bordering on contender. Like I kind of was like underselling her because I was just like, yeah, this is Ortega's clapping cheeks on.
Do you? Speaking of unfortunate voice cracks, do you?
I got you Cortez's cheeks.
Do you?
It gets the best of it.
Well, yeah. I was thinking about her and Paulo Costa in that picture. No, those two are, dude. Paulo Costa's the best. Tracy Costa. Now, I think. Do you think for her she might have heard those whispers out there and like maybe that fucked with like that relationship a little bit and like because they talked about the fight schedules and like the being both in the UFC was tough on their relationship. Like they kind of talk about how like that is a part of what made it so hard. Whatever. I don't really care, right? So actually, my point was that
perception wise.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna roll it into. Was like now in this fight, I don't think of her that way. I don't really care about it, right? It's like past it. She took plenty of time away from the actual octagon, so it's not even like a relevant storyline at this point. Now, what is relevant is she's 14, and Jasmine Jasudavicius has looked very fucking good in her last 2 fights. And
let's say she's ranked 14. We don't want Ortega seeming like Pat Barry out here.
Bro, have you heard the quick timeout? Have you heard the Sean Strickland story about when they were all on the bus? Oh my God! For people at home, for people at home, they're on the bus to the the arena for a press conference or something, and Strickland sees Pat Barry next to Rose.
No, they were on their way to the arena before.
For the fight.
I want to say it was Rose Carla.
Oh,
it was whenever she looked like shit. Had the worst performance ever.
And Strickland's literally voodooing her in the back, asking Pat Barry, so how old was she when you first saw her? Type shit. And Chris Kurtz apparently is in the bus like, Sean, shut the fuck up. Like, quit it. She has a title fight. Like, stop.
So good.
He's a savage. Now, back to the point of Jazz DeVicious looking really good recently. Cortez showing back up, being ranked 14, not 14 years of age, and having to kind of prove...
Sorry, Barry. Sorry, Pat.
Sorry, Pat. Sorry about it. Kind of having to prove that she still deserves to be ranked here. Vegas has her minus 125. Has Jasmine, I call her JJ because her name is too long to type, Jazz DeVicious at plus 105.
I love the matchmaking here.
Yeah.
Matchmaking made a lot of sense.
A lot of sense. A girl that starts hot and it has a lot of power but kind of fades in Cortez versus a girl that's kind of a Terminator and loves to win round threes and start to take over the fight in round two in Jazz DeVicious. That is essentially what we've seen her do, is just out-weather girls and wear them down and just dog them.
Yeah, this fight turned into a straight-up war, bro, and it was like a crescendo. Each round things got a little more intense, for sure. Granted, I mean, I guess I only gave Jazz DeVicious the third round. I gave Tracy Cortez 1 and 2. Granted, round 2 is very close. There is a world that exists where Jazz DeVicious won this fight. I don't like that. Granted, we ended up with the unanimous decision, so I think the right girl won. But Tracy Cortez definitely won 1. Round 2 was really close. Could have gone either way. I went Cortez, and then I went round 3 for Jazz DeVicious. So I mean, there's a world that exists. This was a very close fight. Jazz DeVicious performed well, I thought. I thought the right girl won, but
I scored all 3 rounds for Cortez. However, I do have close in rounds 2 and 3. I can see the case where Jazz DeVicious wins those 2 rounds. Boom, wins 29-28. 2 judges give 30-27 Cortez. 1 judge goes 29-28 Jazz DeVicious, but he gave her the second round, which to your point, you gave her the third. So, I mean, very close fight, even though it was a unanimous decision with 2 30-27s.
For sure, man. It was kind of another example of quantity versus quality. I mean, Cortez was definitely landing the harder, cleaner punches, and then but Jazz DeVicious was pushing a good pace and kind of marching Cortez down. But Cortez was countering off the back foot and landing crispy.
Also, Jazz DeVicious was getting takedowns that were stunting Cortez's ability to make the fight the way she wanted it to look. And also, Jazz DeVicious grabbing the braids was some fucking dirty shit.
It was dirty and
but she's a grimy chick. That's her style of fight.
Exactly.
I don't even fault her for it.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, she was going for it. She was trying to literally tooth, claw, and nail or whatever they say, trying to find a way to win, which is what you're supposed to be doing in there. Also, landed a couple head kicks where you're talking about she would kind of grab her braids and then
literally that's how she hit the head kick in the third that Cortez stopped fighting and was cussing her out in the ring for, which Cortez
she did it twice. She did it in the second round too.
Yeah, which Cortez just fiery enough of a fighter to stop fighting for a second and start. Now I will say for Jazz DeVicious, she should have just started swinging right then and quit. She was trying to talk back to her hey, if you're gonna be a dirty fighter, just shut up and be dirty. Start fighting right then as well. What are we stopping for?
It's funny, just across my timeline today, the old highlight of whenever Mayweather was fighting that Mexican dude. And
oh my God!
And then the dude goes to touch gloves,
and he just fucking socks him out. Yeah.
More fighters need to do that. That gets talked about in a negative light. There was 2 guys there. One of them was following the rule, protect yourself at all times, and the other one was not. That does not go on Floyd at all.
Floyd said that after the fight too. He said, I don't know what he was reaching out me for. I thought he was trying to range a jab. As far as I was concerned, All right.
More fighters need to do that. Every time a fighter goes to do a thumbs up or goes to point at their nuts or like
Socks up.
fucking
Yeah.
yeah, dude, like seriously, fuck that shit. But yeah, I mean, big win for Tracy Cortez. Like immediately back relevant. I believe that makes her 5-0 in the UFC, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think you're right.
Which, like, I mean, you're off and running at that point. Like, you officially matter. It sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck. It's entertaining as fuck for us fans. Like, there's a million directions you can go with her.
Hey, I just want to say she has a split decision win over Erin Blanchfield in her career before they got to the UFC.
Oh wow, that's interesting as fuck. I didn't know that.
Aging
Wow.
great. Now the other thing I want to note is, she only has decision wins in the UFC as well. So betting Tracy Cortez overs definitely might be the move.
For sure, man. And then I think you could do Cortez. I don't know, and forgive me if she's spotting these people. I don't have her Tapology pulled up. I mean, there's a million things you could do with it. You could do Cortez Maya. You could do Cortez. I think Hebus has a fight, but you do Cortez Casey O'Neill would be pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, she hasn't fought any of those girls. She's only fought Melissa Gatto, Justine Kish, Stephanie Egger, Vanessa Mello, Maria Gapova, and Jasmine Jasdavicius as far as the UFC. Now before that, the fight before those 6 I just listed was Erin Blanchfield. But I mean, effectively, she has any like anyone can fight her, anyone can get it.
Honestly, if you really wanted to get this fucking party started, you could give her Lauren Murphy and get Lauren Murphy the fuck out of the rankings. I don't predict for you that's what they'll do, but if you wanted to be a real savage about it, you can really jumpstart this fucking show. You could do it. I don't think that would be like out of bounds to do.
Man, honestly, looking at it, that Erin Blanchfield win's going to go a long way because that was 2019. Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think Blanchard was like 19 if my math is correct, but that's not like her fault. Like Tracy Cortez was young too. Like, yeah, no, I feel it. That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, if you gave her a Lauren Murphy or you gave her a Jennifer Maya, like, I don't think that's like out of bounds, like Dana White privilege. Like, you're 5-0. That's like, it's like Ian Gary, getting Neil Magny or getting a Jeff Neal. Like it's about that time to start, doing that with Tracy Cortez. Man, I'm kind of all in on it. I'm here for it, honestly. I'm here for women's flyweight. Women's flyweight goes hard as fuck. But speaking of go hard as fuck, let's go to the most gangster guy on the roster, Edgar Shirez.
Edgar Shirez.
Legitimately, I think has some affiliation. My minus 220 favorite, which I thought was pretty interesting over Daniel Lacerda.
I was surprised by that too.
I see. I looked at my knee-jerk reaction. I was like, "Oh, I kind of like the Lacerda sprinkle." And I looked. I think he's like 0-4 in the UFC, but all of his fights have been bangers. So I think that's why we think of him as like kind of elevated. But I think he is like 0-4 in the UFC. So like I get it at that point. But also, did you see Shirez walk out with that Rambo-style ammo belt, which I am inclined to believe was not like fake rounds? And he threw it into the crowd. Those things are heavy. like somebody went to catch it, and I'm sure it got fucked up. He threw like a round of like 308s. Like
how many was it? Like 30, you think, or like 60? Was it like a full belt, like around his whole body?
Full belt, yeah, of like either 30-06 or 308, like a rifle round, like intense on all fronts. But yeah, taking on Daniel Lacerda. And this is where we get the Fugues-Tognani stoppage on an anaconda choke, where we end up with the no contest here. Cruz goes in on Tognani, rightfully so.
Well, he called it before it happened, too. He said, he's going to stop it, and there's no choke here. He doesn't know what's happening. This guy's going to relax, and he's going to call it.
And I'll say, and it kind of proves Cruz's point. I don't grapple. Whenever Lacerda went limp,
it's a tough look for Lacerda to just let his arm dangle. Like, he could at least rest it on the fence and like keep a break in his elbow to show the ref, like just visually, like, hey, I'm not just like being held here.
Like it went because he was rigid, and then it went like this. Like that is what you could argue that can't be the only thing you're looking for, but that is a thing a ref is looking at. Is if somebody goes limp,
posture.
They usually do the little arm. They'll flick the arm to see if there's any life in it. Like he went super limp, and he went limp like quick.
That
Like
was the thing
it
is he
wasn't
just
like
like dropped quick like that. He fucked himself in the sense of like he was kind of trying to like sag his body like dead weight his head out,
yes,
which I
yes.
get, but like man, you can't do it like that.
Like optically, in real time, I thought it was a stoppage too. Now, yeah, like I said, if anything, that proves Dom Cruz's point. I don't grapple. So like Dom Cruz's whole point was like, you don't know what you're looking at if you don't grapple. And I don't even dispute that. Like to my untrained eye, it looked like a sub, but we can't have refs with untrained eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fully agree. That's the thing, right? That's the difference. Is like if for us as fans at home, if we're calling for a stoppage, yeah, whatever. We're not the guy in the cage on top of him. That guy probably needs to
yeah,
know what's up.
yeah, for sure. And also, it's such an opportunity. There's so many fighters who's, they never make a real bag, and maybe they go and they're coaching kickboxing classes or jiu-jitsu classes somewhere, or helping out at the high school wrestling team. But there's so many like retired fighters that like aren't set for life, that need to earn an honest living. Like there's no shortage of guys they could go to rep these fights. That, you know what I'm saying? Like I actually think it would be like a cool like pathway, like, you know what I mean, for retired, like how the NFL does it with the NFL Network, and the UFC does it with the broadcast booth. But not everybody's going to be good on a mic. But there's dudes that like say Mike Perry never would have got a BKFC bag. Like he knows fighting though. You know what I'm saying? He would be terrible on a mic or like a podcast, or like he's not going to go on to do something like that. That's probably a bad example. Or like Cowboy Oliveira, guys like that. Like Cowboy Oliveira never got, I don't think, like a major bag. Like I doubt he's like set for life millionaire. Like, but he understands. Like, and these even or like even I don't know. There's a lot of guys, right, that like are no longer signed to the UFC, but no, like can come do a better job than Tonyoni.
100%.
Hell, women too.
He's also a ref that's under fire quite often for not having any nuance.
And I just like why I think that should be all sports though. Like why do we even have these guys that didn't do it repping whenever there's guys that did do it that don't have jobs and need jobs? Like I view it almost like the way people like politicians talk about like getting veterans like jobs after they're out of the service. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of guys that come through and spill blood and don't make life-changing money that like need an honest living, and they still love the sport. They want to be around the sport. They, let them earn an honest living. Like I just why are we trying to like find these random dudes that filled out some paperwork for an athletic commission and got a black polo shirt on and some rubber gloves? Like there's fighters that could do the job. For sure.
Well, and it's like later on in the card, which if you haven't watched our main card breakdown, go check that out. It's already up. We talk about how Herzog definitely knows how to grapple, has a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And it sees another position where he's not stopping it early, like with the armbar. Like he wasn't jumping in to stop that at any point. And Cruz touched on the fact that Herzog knows what's up. Like he knows Herzog knows jiu-jitsu. So whenever that was occurring, he said Herzog's not going to stop this early. We're not going to have that with here.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, no, Cruz was on point. Some people said he like went too far with it. I think he just called it as he saw it. Man, he spoke the truth, and if you don't like that, I mean, what are we doing here? It's not like with Keith Peterson, we know there's some kind of biased history, whatever, but like Tonyoni was in the wrong. Cruz called him out. He showed an example of a guy handling that exact same scenario correctly. I thought Cruz was in bounds, but yeah, no contest there. Disappointing for Shirez. I'm sure he could have used a win bonus to pay off the cartel with, but we'll keep it pushing. To Josh Friend, Roman Kopylov. Dude, Josh Friend gets fed to the wolves. He gets the toughest matchup.
I swear.
Plus 260. We're both high on Kopylov. This was one of those ones where like it was an obvious pick, but a tough bet because of the value at minus 325. Good parlay builder, I guess. But I like Kopylov just broad stroke. Like I think Kopylov is about to like make some noise in this division. Like he kind of has like touch of death kind of power. Like he's getting guys out of there like repeatedly, like one after the other.
Seems like he's like smart with it too. It's not like he wings bombs. Yeah. Like he actually kind of sets up nice punches. Yeah, sets up nice straights. Good body work too. He was putting in some good body work.
Which, I mean, foreshadowing there, this fight ends on a body punch KO. Kopylov was pretty much in control the whole time. I mean, there was some moments in the first round where Fred was kind of landing the jab and the calf kick, and he was the taller guy, and he was kind of keeping him off him a little bit. But every time Kopylov would land, it was impactful. Like, whatever Kopylov's total strikes were should be the exact same number as his significant strikes. Like, everything he landed was heavy, and clean, and accurate, and well-timed. And
funny enough, he landed 49 significant strikes, 54 total strikes, so...
I'm not blowing smoke up your ass here, people. Like, I mean, everything Kopylov landed was significant and accurate and well placed and well timed and set up properly. Like, I mean, he put on a clinic, man. He put on a clinic, and he was fighting the taller guy. Granted, he's the better fighter, so I mean, but he was fighting a guy, tough physical matchup, you know. And like I said, he ends up getting the second round walk-off body punch KO, like. Straight right
liver
across
shot.
The body to the liver.
It was nice.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It was a good performance. It was a good finish. I believe he got a bonus for it, or he definitely should have if he didn't.
He definitely did. Unfortunately, not the best liver shot of the weekend. That's going to have to go to the Colorado State safety that lacerated Travis Hunter's liver.
Ooh, I didn't know it was lacerated. That's brutal.
Yeah, I noticed, like, whenever he went down, he just chunked his helmet, and I was like, damn, he got hit hard. And now thinking back, like, oh, damn, he, like, got his liver cut. Like, imagine liver shot shuts down fighters. Getting a cut on it has to be insane.
Oh, I can't imagine how painful that would be. Bro, like, I don't know. I'm in on this Kopylov train, though. I mean, I know we glanced over because it really wasn't that competitive. I literally have knife through butter in my notes. Like, Kopylov beat the shit out of Friend. It wasn't the best matchmaking. That's why I want to spend some time talking about, like, how you should matchmake him, because I think I'm kind of done seeing Kopylov just, like, can crush. I think the skills have shown that he can, like, be tested a little bit. I think a Chris Curtis makes a lot of sense.
Okay, wait.
Calvin Gastelum makes a lot of sense.
What about like power bar?
You could. I don't know. I think I'm kind of past that. I mean, I don't know. And power bar has, like, coming off, I think, a couple of losses, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm kind of trying to shovel some coal here, bro. I think get this Kopylov, you know, like in the big Chase Hooper show on the road. I'm here for it. I like the memes. The memes are helping the Q rating. I mean, ESPN and SportsCenter was posting about him. Like, let's get the show on the road here. What is it, 3 or 4 knockouts in a row against Cans? Like we've seen it. Like, it's elevation time.
That's my point. Is
he needs his Kevin Holland JDM fight. Like, he needs his.
I think he needs to have a good performance against a non-can, and that a non-can doesn't have to mean someone ranked.
You know, true, and power bar is like a really good example of that. I really don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I really don't.
Because then I think if he beats like a power bar, then he can get like an Imavov, or like he can just go ahead and, like, that's not even like, if he beats Marc-Andre Barrio, then I'm like, okay, yeah, anyone 10 through 15 doesn't even matter.
I mean, he beat Pona Haley Soniano. Like, I mean, the best win in the world.
Cocoa Bombs.
Puna's not. I mean, it's Puna Power Bar. I mean, it's the same kind of level of guy.
Didn't Power Bar beat Puna? Like, I think that would actually be a good matchup for that reason.
Hey, bro, you know I like me some Power Bar.
But I will say,
power bar,
I will say, like, an eventual Kopylov, like, Dolidze match, like, that's super fun. Like, I think you get fun matchups with Kopylov.
Yeah. I mean, I just, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna give him Dolce Lungambula? Like, I think Kopylov. I feel you. I guess you're just not that as in on the Kopylov train as me. I'm kind of in on it. I'm kind of here for it. I'm kind of. Like, he knocks guys out. It's exciting. He's fun to watch fight. Like, he's tough. Looks like Chase Hooper. Let's get it, dog.
What about, like, Brad Tavares?
Oh, that's the last thing I want to see. I can't stand watching Brad Tavares fight. Come on, what are you trying to do?
All right. Let's just keep it pushing. Let's just go to Loopy Godinez against one of my least favorite fighters in Elise Reed. Elise favorite.
Mid.
Yeah.
Elise favorite, Elise mid, however you want to. Yeah, I feel you. She has. It's not that she's bad. She's not that bad. She's just so like forgettable and just mid and
So
like
forgettable and
just like
mid.
yeah, just like on the video game, it's like a sim like created like just like a roster filler. Like I don't know, like when you're a couple of years into your dynasty mode and you're playing with like computer generated characters, that's like Elise Reed. Like I just yeah, you're right. Just something forgettable, something. No, that being said, Loopy Godinez, we're both high on. I think a lot of people are high on her. We're like looking forward to her making her run in the strawweight division. Probably at the top end of the unranked side of strawweight. I think it's fair to say she's knocking on the door. Featured prelim, I think, kind of points to that. And this was, I mean, this was a dismantling. This was a beatdown.
This
I mean, Loopy
was
Godinez.
fucking brutal. I mean, we watched people that were minus 750s not do this, and she was minus 380. I thought it was a good performance.
Yeah, this makes the nuts in performance. Like, this is what it should have looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why.
Because Godinez was just feeding her hands when she wanted to, like piecing Elise Reed up, and then literally slamming her on takedowns.
Yeah, big, like, explosive, like, highlight takedowns.
The armbar, I have no idea how Elise Reed's elbow didn't break.
Yeah, Elise Reed went full Tony Ferguson on that one. Just, I mean, I don't know if she's double jointed or what, but it was bending the wrong way. Didn't tap. Was a dog about it, honestly. I mean, I'll say something nice about Elise Reed. She went back to her corner. Her coaches asked her if her elbow was good. She's like, yeah, it's good. Like, even if it wasn't, she was a dog. She wasn't complaining, crying about it.
10-8, though.
Yeah, I mean,
10-8, though.
10-8, though. Yeah, for sure. And then in round two, just kind of finishes it up with the old club and sub. That's going to go hit the deli right now. And I mean, it was like a four. I wrote down 4-piece in my notes. I think it was an actual like 5-piece. Just literally went like video game combination, just dropped her, and actually single leg pieces her up, freezes her, grabs the single leg. What is it? Converts to a double leg, big like
big slam.
And then just takes the back, and that was an RNC where Elise Reed found a way out of it. I mean, rightfully so. Like the corner probably should have threw in the towel. Like that.
I saw.
She needed to get out of
I saw one of the MMA accounts I follow on Twitter posted their bets, and their bet was Godinez by TKO. And when she got the sub, they posted like the X, like didn't get the bet. You know the fucking meme of the Incredibles, where it's Mr. Incredible just like face all blacked out in the newspaper.
Oh yeah.
They just put that one right below it, like that is how that feels.
Yeah, that's a bad beat. That's a bad beat for sure. But I mean, Godinez is legit. I mean, I think she has done about all she needs to do to get a ranked fight, right? I mean,
yes.
I think I'm all in on Godinez as a strawweight prospect. I think the UFC's all in on her as a strawweight prospect. I mean, yeah, the wins over Dakota, Calvillo,
Tabitha Ricci was at the fight. I mean, I honestly think that's a fun fight. Or Waterson Gomez. Right. Although she has a fight coming up.
She's booked. Yeah, she's booked. She does have the bad Luana Carolina loss, which I think that was up a weight class. She has the Angela Hill loss. It was a decision, and she's won 3 in a row since then. So I don't know. Well, it's just an eye test thing, right? Loopy passes the eye test. She looks the part.
Yeah.
The skill set's there. And she's ready for a rank test for sure. But yeah, man, that wraps up these prelims, man. Wraps up episode 147, Noche UFC. It was a fun night. It was a fun episode of the podcast. Enjoyed talking about it with you, man. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already and you're watching this, and we really appreciate it. You can check us out on Twitter at Beefy Breakdown. And yeah, man, we'll be right back next. But next week we got a heater. Gamrot Fiziev, striker versus grappler. I really don't know how to feel about that one, man. I really don't know how. Like,
I think Fiziev's gonna
no bet for me.
I think Fiziev's gonna be fast enough to win it. I don't know what the odds are. Do you care if I just go look up the odds on that one real fast?
Real quick, yeah.
Let's see. We got Fiziev Gamrot. All right, we got Fiziev minus 160. That's yeah. I'm staying away from it.
That's a no bet.
Yeah, that's too tough.
Because we've seen Gamrot, Gamrot beat Turner. So if you've seen Gamrot, like he's seen his high level strikers, right? Like Gamrot, he went against Turner, he went against Armand,
He's beat
he's been
Sarukian.
tested.
He's beat Jeremy
Like,
Stevens. He's beat Diego Ferreira. The Kudataladze loss, we both scored for him. I do remember that. We thought he got robbed there. So, like, his really only loss is Dariush. It's like, it's tough.
And Fizim's only losses to Gage. Great matchmaking, though. Like, this fight needed to happen to clear up some murk. Like, the winner of this one for sure gets one of the names. Fizim's already gotten a Gagey, but, like, they're getting a seat at the table. The winner of this one, like, one of those big names, whether it be a Chandler or they've already gotten the big names. It's a weird one. They find themselves in a weird position in that division.
Gamrot, kind of. I mean, the Dariush, yes, but like Dariush is the worst of all the names. So like he kind of needs this one to be able to unlock like a real name.
Chandler too, right? But you're right. That's like B tier name. They're both stuck at C tier name, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like to unlock A, you got to be B. And he's sitting at C, where Fizim's at B.
Yeah, for sure, man. Tough spot, but important fight for the division, for sure, man. And this was a fun one. We'll wrap it up, bro. Appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We'll catch you guys next week for that Fizim Gamrot fight. As always, every fight, every round broken down. Beefy Boys Breakdown. Like and subscribe.